Hello and welcome to another episode of Bad Pitch Energy. I'm joined as always by my co-host Robyn. How are you today, Robyn?
I'm holding up.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long week for me, as I'm sure
Yeah.
it's also been a long week for you. But
Yes. It's been our drink of the week. Let's highlight that. We're doing a repeat. Don't call us out. Prickly pear margarita because
hmm
it's pink.
it's pink,
Cheers
and
to
it's
a
we had
crazy week.
another prickly week. Not
Hmm.
so prickly, I would say, on the news front,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, and you know what?
definitely.
You know what's bad? We had a good streak going,
hmm
Robyn, where we were seeing each other every weekend
I
since early
know.
January for the recording. And I think I just texted you last week, like, let's do it virtually.
Yeah, and we realized we can, even though we can do it virtually, the vibe just isn't quite the same as
Yeah.
when we're in
This
person.
duo is better in person.
Much better.
And so we can commit to mostly doing these in person.
Right.
But talk about like a really just a boring week in baseball.
No.
And I know it should have been more exciting. Yes, we had players show up to camp,
Right.
but like no meaningful news coming out of it.
hmm
And just and again, it's by design. It's
Right.
boring by design.
Right.
They're learning their new schemes. They're
Mhm.
getting to know each other as a team. But where's the drama, Robyn?
I mean, if you ask Mets fans, there may have been a little drama today when Bo Bichette took third for the first time and kind of overthrew just a bit.
So,
Or was it an underthrow? I don't even know.
it was the throw is not on target to first
Yeah.
base, and of course you also have a first baseman. Well, no, who was playing first at the time wasn't necessarily playing
Mhm.
out of position, and he could have done a better job scooping the ball. But the
Right.
thing right now is, Bo Bichette is under a
Mhm.
microscope because he's changing positions from
Right.
shortstop to third base.
He has a massive contract.
Massive contract, a lot to live up to, new team,
Right.
doing it in the toughest city to play baseball, arguably, but I wouldn't even argue that.
hmm
And so he has all eyes are on him.
Right.
But I also, you know what? By the time late March comes around, I
I
think
think,
Bo's going to be
yeah,
okay.
because I think everyone just has that adjustment period,
Yeah.
especially if they haven't been playing
Hmm.
baseball all off season.
Yeah.
Astros played again today, and I know we're back
Yeah. We
because
are so back.
we are leaving bases loaded, no
Mid-season form.
mid-season form,
We
no
are in
runs
mid-season
batted
form.
in.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least it was our minor league team and not
Yeah.
our,
Well, yes. And
for the most part.
I think things will be on the up and up for
Yeah,
them as well. But we're in an exciting time, here in Houston. We have rodeo season coming up, and
right.
then we have World Baseball Classic, which is happening at least partially in Houston
hmm
this year. And then before you know it, it will be opening day. I think March 26th. I took the day off work, so that's why I have the name committed or the date committed to memory by now. But I'm
hmm
really excited.
Yeah.
I don't have tickets yet. Then
I mean,
I haven't
when do we
coordinated.
ever buy
I haven't
tickets
coordinated
ahead
with
of
you to
time?
see if you're able to take that day
When
off.
do we ever?
But
I mean, call me up. I'll be there. I
yes,
mean, opening day
yes.
was always exciting.
But I think people are bored. Robyn and I got dinner beforehand, and like everybody's out, and everybody is doing something. And I think
It hit
we're
like 89 degrees
yeah,
today or
we have like
something.
nice weather for now, and I think there's just like we're in that season between NFL season has wrapped up, baseball season hasn't yet started. Yes, we have the Olympics. Yes, we have NBA, we have NHL, but there's just like something missing, and I think
Right.
people are trying to occupy their time. So yeah, it's about to get fun out here, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a look today at a couple of the topics that are kind of shining through in this dull time in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was something this week that I was really proud to see, and not just because I'm a Mets fan, but I loved what Katya Lindor posted about, you know, as a baseball wife.
Right.
And she's somebody who we cover this, I think, on episode 1, has come
Yeah.
under the microscope for being on Zoran Mamdani's inaugural
She's
committee.
quote unquote woke.
She's woke. And then they went after Francisco Lindor, and then there were suddenly stories that Francisco Lindor and Brandon Nimmo had political differences in the clubhouse, and that was driving,
Right.
all of these things that come from the New York Post, who loves the drama.
Mm-hmm.
But Katya Lindor came under a lot of fire, and of course, like with everything, she handled it with grace. Um, and she released something, just a video this week, or it was a segment of her podcast, I believe, where she was really just talking about like her life as a wife of a well-known baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
and how she is not required to shrink herself, how she is able to have these strong opinions because she is her own person.
Right.
And better yet, she kind of attacked the line of what a lot of folks like to say, "Oh, don't mix politics
Politics
and
with sport.
sports." So that is such a cop out, and she did a fantastic job saying a couple of things. Number 1, the folks who say that are the ones
Ones
who
who have
always
been
do
doing
the
the mixing.
mixing.
I mean, if you want to even talk about most recently with the Eileen Gu and Alyssa Liu dichotomy,
Mhm.
how like I mean, they've been called the maggots, um,
No comment.
have been like propping up Alyssa Liu for being for winning gold
Yeah,
and being the right kind of immigrant. But
right,
when we're like, if she hadn't won, y'all would have given, and if Eileen Gu also didn't exist,
right.
you would be like calling for her deportation or
Mhm.
treating her just as bad as y'all treated like Simone Biles for prioritizing mental health over the Olympics,
Right.
which is what Alyssa Liu did. So you have this weird dichotomy being presented with Eileen Gu and Alyssa Liu by the same people who are asking us to keep politics out of sports. These are the same people who are like upset that people take the knee
Mhm.
during the
Mhm.
national anthem when the national anthem playing at the start of each sports game is a political act.
Correct. Correct.
And then I think did she also mention some other historical examples as well?
But, I mean, she on a broader scale
Hmm.
spoke about Muhammad Ali,
Right,
Billie Jean King, Jackie Robinson, of
right,
course. Politics and sports are inherently entwined, and they always will be,
right.
and we are in this, we know what's happening in the world now in 2026,
Hmm.
and we're about to have a couple of things happening. World Baseball Classic
Hmm.
happening, at least partially in the United States.
Hmm.
We're about to have the World Cup happening
Right,
in North America, which is about to draw hundreds of thousands of folks to the
right,
United States and
right,
potentially putting them in danger. We're about to have the
right.
Olympics in a couple of years. Like, it is inherently political, and it always has been.
Hmm.
Anybody that is saying otherwise, you're just whitewashing history
Right, or
to
you're
make
just
yourself feel better.
expecting you don't like being uncomfortable. That's the thing, you
Correct.
don't like being
Correct.
uncomfortable, and the fact that, you have players who are international players representing your team or whatever,
Right.
like, their existence
Yeah.
is political.
Yes.
These
Yes.
global events, these global sporting events are political.
Mhm.
I think you can even talk about why certain teams are being allowed to play
Yeah.
and others are not. And where's the heat for Americans playing for these unnamed teams?
Right.
Um, but like, so everything that happens plays onto this whole like global, like political scale, whether you
100%.
want have the privilege of ignoring it
Mhm.
or not.
And not to mention, if we're using a baseball specific
Right.
example, it doesn't happen as much as it used to, but I remember growing up, Cuban players
Hmm.
defecting from Cuba to the United States to play baseball
Right.
was a common occurrence. Sports was inherently their out. That was their kind of ticket. Not that you should need a ticket to seek a better
Right.
life, but I mean, it's always been political, and it's just shame on the folks who do, but kudos to Katya Lindor, who has just been such a gift to Mets fans. Shifting the discourse now from
Hmm.
someone who we really love and
Right.
enjoy, and it helps that we agree with her, but
Hmm.
she's also just a fantastic person.
Right.
Someone who is respectfully an asshole.
Oh God.
And who's that, Robin?
Dan Clark, and he just posted his annual tweet about the Astros cheating again. So we
Mhm.
know, baby, we're back.
Mm.
Baseball is back.
'Tis the season.
Guess we're still living in people's heads rent free. His tweet, the Houston Astros cheating saga. They cheated, won a World Series, got found guilty, yet still weren't stripped of this title. It is the most ridiculous and controversial incident in baseball history. That's a lie. An absolute disgrace. Rob Manfred was weak, and it tarnished the game forever.
Okay. And in this way, he quote tweeted
Yeah.
a Kalshi Sports, the betting platform Kalshi, that said, "What is the most controversial sports moment you've ever seen?" Rumor has it Dan Clark ran to the nearest keyboard to type out this response. What a loser, Robin.
What a loser! Because first off, like let's just get out of the way that I think we've mentioned this in the past. Once again, this take continues to ignore that it was a league-wide issue,
Yeah.
that there were multiple teams that were confirmed to be cheating and stealing signs, and that the Astros became the scapegoat because
Mhm.
Rob Manfred wanted to protect his Yankees and his
Right.
Dodgers,
Right.
in order to protect some of the bigger teams. And if we really want to get into the dirt of what's considered ethical and non-ethical, we haven't had any of our players arrested. Well,
Oh.
yeah, we haven't had any of our players arrested. While can't say that for someone from the opposing team of that 2017 World Series who is
Oh.
currently facing federal charges for, guess what, gambling.
Do we have to say alleged yet since they've not yet been convicted?
I'm I
How
what's
about this? Just to save us from a cease
hypothetical,
and desist. Alleged.
alleged, hypothetical. He is being charged for 10 to 15 years though.
Mhm.
So,
Hmm.
you know, you know what?
What
We won't say his name though for
yeah.
legal reasons. How about that?
I I think I think the, Robyn, I almost called you Dana. Shout out to Dana, who I forced to listen to this podcast. Love you, Dana. I'm used to, like, bantering about
Right.
baseball, more so recently with you, but, like, for the past
Mhm.
12 years of my life, even more than that with her.
Yeah.
But, Robyn, you're so right that the Astros still live in their head,
Mhm.
and all these folks had rent free. And I think it's because of this. The Houston Astros were never supposed to be good.
They were never supposed to be that good.
They were never supposed to be a dynasty.
Mhm.
They are not one of the, for lack of a better term, coastal elite teams. And by
Right.
that, I mean, they're not the Dodgers. They're not the Giants. They're not the Mets, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Phillies.
Mhm.
But the Houston Astros built something that I don't
Right.
think we're going to see again, which
Right.
is not anytime soon, at least, which is a completely homegrown team.
Right.
And not only that, a completely homegrown team of superstars
Right.
who, after their 5 or 6 or 7 arbitration eligible years
Right.
here in Houston, then went off to other teams,
Right.
most of them, at least George Springer, Carlos Correa,
Alex Bregman.
Alex Bregman, most recently Kyle Tucker, and also had success there. But the Astros did something that is so unique and special in
Mhm.
baseball, and I think there is just, to an extent, a little bit of jealousy that
Right.
Astros fans have had a homegrown team of superstars to root for the last decade,
Right.
and they're a dynasty.
And they became a dynasty because I mean, if you want to talk about living in people's heads rent free, Dodgers just recently posted a video of them um asking what Mike Jones's number is. 281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low because Mike Jones is about to blow. I mean, if you don't know that, are you an Astros fan? But like this, Mike Jones is a Houston artist.
Mhm.
And this is something that like Julius Morales has asked the players on in her videos as well. And so it's like y'all want to be us so bad
Mhm.
that you'll even like you have your own rappers. Like you have fucking Kendrick Lamar. Like create your own culture
You hate us because you ain't
in
us.
us. But also Kyle Tucker was in that video.
Yeah.
And can I
Oof.
just say that
Boiled
his
chicken.
inability to rep his years in Houston by not knowing these bars
Mhm.
is an embarrassment. He left Houston and took none of that seasoning
None.
with him.
Nothing. Nothing. He even left the pepper behind. That man that man took
He took none of it with him.
nothing. Whew.
Like you played here for 5, 6 years
Yeah.
and you were unable to say one phone number. Embarrassing.
It's wild. It's wild.
But, like, I think it is getting kinda tired because we've been seeing it on
Same
social
old story.
media, same old story, and, like, how, like, with there being nothing going on in the baseball world,
Mhm.
everyone posting what their tier lists are, and just consistently seeing the Astros being on kicked over and over again on these tier lists, and it's like, I understand if it comes from, like, a divisional rival or if it
Yeah.
comes from, like, the Yankees or Dodgers, but, like, seeing someone who's, like their team's the Diamondbacks or the Rays or even the Rockies,
Mhm.
and, like, having the Houston as their least favorite
Just comes
team,
from jealousy.
it's just it just starts feeling a little weird at some
Jealousy
point.
and groupthink
Yeah.
also.
I mean, like, I think it's what I think our main takeaway is, like, at the end of the day, we are all entitled to enjoy whatever team we want to enjoy,
Right.
and like hate whatever teams we want to hate. And like I also get that we may be a little annoying sometimes on social media, but it's this frequent like. Oh, I think this is one tweet that really stuck out to me actually,
Mhm.
where someone's like, I want to build a community of like immigrants and like queer people and all this unless you're the Astros. And it's like, okay, fuck us, I
Mm.
guess. But it's just one of those things that, like
In one
Houston,
of the most diverse
one of
cities,
the most
the
diverse
most
cities,
diverse city in America.
right?
Okay.
And it's like Houston is our home. Like we cheer for Houston because this is our home.
Mhm.
And it does reach a little point where it starts feeling more personal, despite them saying it's not personal. It does feel
Right.
personal because Houston does become a part of who we are and
Yeah.
our identity.
Yes. And that so you bring up a good point. Point 1 on my end, Robin, the Astros fans
Hmm.
didn't ask for their players to cheat.
Right.
And I don't think you and I are ever excusing what they did.
Right.
What they did was wrong.
Right.
How they did it was stupid,
Right.
but they were not the only ones doing it.
Right.
That can all be true.
Right.
Number 2, we are in a world now where since the scandal came
Hmm.
out in at towards the end of 2019,
Right.
we have learned so much more about other teams that were doing things
Right.
similar. To your point that you made recently, players have said, "My team was doing it.
Right.
Like, I know the Astros were not the
Right.
only ones. They were just stupid enough to get caught in the way
Right.
that they did." And so we are just in a place now of like, let it go.
Hmm.
The Astros have won 2 World Series. They won in 2017 legitimately. They won in 2022 legitimately.
Right.
Y'all have no problem signing our star players once
Right.
they're on the open market. So you clearly don't have an issue once they're there for the taking
Right.
because you know how good
Good
they
they are.
are.
Right.
And so it's tired. It's used as just kind of a method of deflection, especially
Hmm.
not exclusively on the Dodgers fans,
Hmm.
because you mentioned there are other fan bases that do it
Right.
too. But we live in Houston. We are Houstonians.
Right.
Actually, ironically enough, neither of us were living in Houston in
Right.
2017 yet.
But like this became our like team.
But and to that point, there is something special about being in a city where there is only one baseball team.
Hmm.
And I say that having grown up in New York, where you have 2 teams
Right.
in the city, you have a rivalry. So, like, when the team is good, not everybody's hype about it.
Right.
In Houston, to me, the most exciting time of year in Houston up until last October
Hmm.
was October in
Hmm.
this city because it was electric.
Hmm.
You go and everything is Houston
Right.
Astros. Everybody's wearing
Right.
their gear to work, to
Right.
school, to whatever it might be. Like everybody's on the same page and it's unifying in such an exciting way.
Right.
And so it's frustrating to see that like Astros fans bear
Hmm.
the brunt. Now there are some who are not helping the cause,
Right.
respectfully, and I
Right.
won't name names, but Astros fans did not ask the Houston Astros players to go and bang on a trash can and steal signs.
I mean, if you also want to talk about it, like the reason why the 2017 Astros are also so special to Houston is because that was when Hurricane Harvey
Yeah. Yes.
hit
Yes.
and it devastated Houston.
Literally a month before. Yeah.
And so the Astros were like a lot of people's symbol of hope. And I don't know, it hurts. It really
Yeah.
truly hurts when
Yeah.
people continue to post their trash can gifts.
And this is not cope.
This is not cope.
but,
This is just
but this is just the real, and this is, again, going back to the original point
right.
with Katya Lindor. Sports is so much more than sports. Yes, it's
Right.
political, but also it is unifying.
Right.
And I have seen firsthand here in the city of Houston where there's just always a lot of turmoil. To your point
Hmm.
about the hurricanes, we've
Hmm.
had multiple hurricanes, we've had a freeze, we've had tornadoes, we've
Right.
like there is, but at the end of the day, you always have the Astros.
Right.
And ironically enough, a lot of these natural disasters tend to happen during baseball season, and so you always have the Astros to kind of go back to
Hmm.
distract you from the fact that you may not have electricity,
Right.
the fact that you just lost your home in a flood, the
Right.
fact that someone you know may have passed away from something to do with it, a natural
Right.
disaster. Like we are now, I think, when there is the attack on the Astros fan base, it's blending the fans in with a little bit too much. And last I checked, Carlos Beltran and company did not consult someone over there on downtown Houston on what to do as it related to stealing signs.
Right.
And so It's overplayed. Is it going to stop? No, of course it's not
Oh,
going to stop.
never.
Um, but it's okay. It's okay
Mhm.
because the way to solve all of that is to win.
Right. And
And
we know we have a winning squad this year.
the Astros do have a winning team.
I mean,
Absolutely.
because you know how much we love the Astros. I know how much you love the Mets, but like we do have love for the entire league, truthfully,
We
because we
do.
love baseball.
Yes.
So I think we just wanted to also just do a quick rundown about who our favorite players are on each team.
Yes. Yes.
Do you want to kick us off?
I
Because I
will
think we're
kick
gonna
us
go
off.
alphabetical, honestly.
We're going to go
All
alphabetical.
right. So Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yes.
Give us
The
your
D-backs.
picks.
I love Ketel Marte. I love
Ooh,
the
solid
energy he
choice.
brings. I was clamoring for the New York Mets when now they don't need any more infielders anymore. Stop with
Right.
the infielders. We're good. We're tapped out. But when they needed some infielders this offseason, there were rumors about Ketel
Mhm.
Marte. What a phenomenal electric player who is consistent.
Mhm.
He does have sometimes an injury bug, but he is a solid guy. Now, it
Mhm.
helped I had him on my fantasy team last year, so I got to follow him day in and day out.
Right.
But that is a man who I would love on my team, whether it be the Mets or the Astros.
Mhm.
Truly, truly a leader, but also someone who just does all of the things well.
Mhm.
He knows how to defensively. He's fantastic. Offensively, he's solid. He knows how to steal a base. What a great guy. Robyn, what about one of my least favorite teams, the Atlanta Braves?
Okay. So I can't say Dansby anymore,
Mm,
but I would love to say Mauricio Dubon because we
yeah.
love Doobie here in
Doobie.
Houston, but I don't think I can quite count him yet. So I will have to say Ronald
Yeah.
Acuna Jr. I love him. He's phenomenal player,
Mm-hmm.
and he was coming back from an injury last year, so I'm excited to see what he does this year.
Hmm.
All right, Baltimore Orioles.
Oh, the Orioles. I don't know why the Orioles are a franchise that I've always had a soft spot for. And when I saw this, my brain went to Pete Alonso, but that's not who I'm choosing here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm choosing Taylor Ward, who recently was traded
Mm-hmm.
to the Orioles from the
Mm-hmm.
Angels. Great player,
Mm-hmm.
great clubhouse presence. I'm bummed because I actually enjoyed watching him
Right.
play in Anaheim. So I'm really excited what he can bring to what I think will be a much improved Baltimore team this upcoming season.
I will say they're also the one team where every white guy looks the same. They just like to produce them from a factory.
100%. 100%.
Sidebar.
Agreed. What about the Boston Red Sox, Robyn?
I will say Garrett Crochet. I think so I'm gonna be honest, say I love pitchers. I love watching pitchers do what they do best
Yeah.
because it really is in a way kind of like a one man army
Yeah.
for a part of the game.
And it's so
And
mental too.
it's so mental.
Yeah.
So he's just one of the best out there, and it's just always such a pleasure watching him play. All right,
Agreed.
Chicago Cubs.
I've got to go with Breggy, even though Alex Bregman has not yet played a game in a Chicago uniform. As we were talking about,
Mhm.
former Astros who have
Right.
gone on to have continued success. One of the greatest Astros of all time. Someone who, of course, we wish would have stayed, but
Mhm.
we get why he didn't. Just a super, super solid third baseman,
Mhm.
natural leader,
Mhm.
and I'm excited to see how he does in Chicago.
Okay. But also, I really, really, really like PCA.
She
Pete
does.
Carroll Armstrong.
You should have seen the
PCA.
lengths that
PCA.
Robyn went to get Pete Kerr Armstrong in our fantasy league last season. It was.
He's just so fun.
He's a fun guy. He's electric. Well, what about on the south side, Robyn? The Chicago White Sox.
All right. I don't know if this is cheating or not, but I love Munetaka Murakami.
Fair.
There's just something
Fair.
about him that looking at him just makes you smile. I also loved how the first thing he did was made sure that the White Sox had bidets in their clubhouse. So a shout out to having clean asses.
Yes, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Cincinnati Reds.
So my choice is Spencer Steer.
Mm-hmm.
Spencer Steer is somebody who is an extremely versatile player.
Mm.
He can play any defensive position. And he generally is a solid hitter. He had a little bit of a down season last year, but that is a guy who, if we're not talking about this in the context of fantasy, but if we were, he is and I feel a little bit nervous because both Robyn is in our fantasy league and also we have a lot of our listeners are in our fantasy league, but he is a sneaky late round draft pick because he is the guy you can slot in there when guys get off
Mhm.
days, when guys get injured,
Mhm.
and he has such great position versatility. So he's been a joy to watch. He doesn't, the weird thing is on the Reds now, he doesn't really exactly have a home. So he's this really kind of jack of all trades, master of
Mhm.
none right now, but a really sneaky, solid player.
Alright.
What about the Cleveland
I
Guardians?
think it's no secret that
Mm-mm.
Jose Ramirez is my favorite Guardian.
Yep.
So not to hop on that train again, so I'm gonna say I also really like Stephen Kwan.
Stephen Kwan's a
He's a
solid
very
player.
solid
Yes.
outfielder,
Yes.
very, very solid left field. He's also someone who I just get a lot of joy watching play.
He is a great player.
Alright, what about the Colorado Rockies?
So Rockies, there is a plethora of exciting young
Mhm.
talent on that team. I love watching Ezekiel Tovar play baseball. He is a phenomenal defensive shortstop. He is electric. Now, he doesn't put up the best
Mhm.
offensive stats, but he is a guy that can get you on base. He
Mhm.
is a guy that when he is on base can steal a base. And so I just really love watching him play because he has this dynamic energy that I think is really, really fun to watch. All right, let's move on to the Detroit Tigers.
Am I allowed to say Framber?
Yeah,
I mean, yes,
technically.
technically. Um, I will say Framber again will always hold a special place in our heart for how 2022 went, but I think some better options, truthfully, for the Tigers are, I mean, Tarek Skubal. Just
Mm,
watching Tarek Skubal, like he is the best player I think
yeah,
in baseball
yeah.
right now. I do truly think he's better than the 2 MVPs from
Hmm.
last year. And I like I said, I love watching pitchers do what they do
Yeah,
best. But also, I guess honorable mention as well will be Gleyber Torres.
yeah.
He's another solid player. Didn't really have his best years in the Yankees,
Hmm.
but I loved what he did for the Tigers
Yeah.
last year.
No, I agree. Exciting.
Mm. Okay, our favorite team, the Houston Astros.
Yeah. Jeremy Pena, next.
Can I just say I also have a couple Pookies? I have a couple Pookies.
Who might they be?
Hunter Brown and Tetsuya Mai. Thank you very much.
Okay, sidebar. Tatsuya Mai is going to be so much fun
I'm
this year.
so excited for him because we
He
saw have you seen the spring training videos?
Yes. He is going to be a blast, and the guy is having a blast. He is
Yes.
like, I think he's having a pinch. He made a comment like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I knew I was in the major leagues when I had to pitch
Right.
against Jose Altuve." Like, the dude is living his dream right now.
Yes. He's
Is
also
having so
so
much fun.
humble,
Yes.
and
Yes.
he throws up the H every time he gets. He
Yes.
loves it here.
I cannot
And
wait to see him
And,
at Dyken Park.
was it Taylor Trammell who said he throws like, "I've been in the majors for, like, we've been playing baseball for 24 years, been in the majors for 11," and I have never seen that pitch before.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
so excited.
I can't wait. He is someone who I think if he is as advertised, I think I will seek out every home game that he's pitching,
Oh,
whether it be a
absolutely.
weeknight, whatever it is, and just go watch him.
No,
So
there's just something so exciting about him.
yeah, can't wait. Robyn, Kansas City Royals,
Uh,
underappreciated baseball team.
I'm gonna say Salvador Perez.
Fair?
I just, like, very
Fair?
solid, always just, like, I think would you say he's, like, the unofficial captain of the Royals?
I think he's actually the
Oh,
captain.
he's actually the captain?
I think he is the actual captain of the Kansas City Royals. Let's see.
Yeah, because he's just someone who, like
Yeah, he was named the captain in
okay,
2023.
yeah, because
Yeah.
he's someone who just, like, solid clubhouse presence, just that
True
leader,
leader.
love him.
Mhm.
Vinny Pasquantino actually made a really funny tweet yesterday about how, number of home runs hit in 2026, Salvador Perez, 1, um, um, Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, 0. So, love
We
that.
love to see it.
We love you too, Bobby, but Salvi.
Yeah. Great guy.
Alright. Our Los Angeles or Anaheim
The
Angels.
Los Angeles, Angels of Anaheim. Very important
Oh, okay,
distinction.
okay,
Very
okay.
important. Can't forget that part. Put some respect on them. Um, I have a thing for shortstops.
Okay.
Zach Neto, great, dynamic, shortstop,
Mhm,
young, kind of still finding his way with the
mhm,
bat, but he was a 2022 draft pick, so
mhm.
he's still got
Yeah,
a lot of games to play ahead of
yeah.
him. Fun, electric guy.
Mhm.
He is somebody. No, neither of our teams need a shortstop, but if they did, I'd be pushing to get him because just a fun guy to watch play baseball. So Zach Neto is my Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim pick. Now, Robyn, the
Yes.
evil empire, the Los Angeles Dodgers.
I was about to say.
I know you were.
Okay, so I actually do enjoy some of their players. I don't really like what that team stands for. I mean, as we've made that well aware, but they do have some really, really good players and some people who really love watching.
Yep.
And for me, one of mine, again, is Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He's just so good at what he does.
Yep.
When he went a complete game during, was it game 2 actually of the World Series? He's just so good. And I mean, he's also easy on the eye, which helps.
Certainly does.
All right. Our Miami Marlins.
Yes. And I've heard his last name pronounced 2 different ways. Sandy Alcantara is how I read it, but I've heard Sandy Alcantara. So,
yeah.
Regardless, one of my favorite pitchers in the game, he did have a very off 2025,
Yeah.
but a lot of that was because he missed the entirety of the 2024 season with injury. He's a guy that's been rumored to be on the trade block.
Like time and time again.
Time and time again, because truthfully, the Marlins are not known for signing their players long term. And for spending big on payroll. And so Sandy specifically has been somebody who's been rumored to be a future New York Met. And I think the Mets have tried to trade for him a couple of times. That is my dream, to have this former Cy Young winner on my team. But really, I think in the grand scheme of things, because of where he plays and who he plays for, he doesn't get the love that he necessarily should get as a 2-time All-Star. But I really, really enjoy watching him pitch. Again, when you look at the art of pitching, he is a master of it. And I'm really excited now that he's worked out a lot of his mechanics to be back just super strong in 2026 and probably get traded to a team. But we'll see. Great guy, great pitcher. Love watching him play. Robyn, what about the Milwaukee Brewers, who you've got a little bit of a thing for?
All right. I love my pitchers. If that wasn't obvious already, I love my pitchers. And part of that, when in regards to the Brewers, I think I housed every single Brewer pitcher at some point on my fantasy league last year.
And it was working.
And it was working because the Brewers, I will say, their pitching staff is able to unlock something with like their pitch. Like, I will say the Brewers never seem to get that lucky in the postseason, and they always exit early. But during the regular 162 games, their pitchers are just always on top of it. And so for this one, I'm going to shout out Brandon Woodruff and Jacob Mizorowski.
Yeah.
Sorry. So it's a Polish. I don't actually know. It's an Eastern European last name. My bad. But the Miz.
The Miz.
But yeah, just I love my pitchers.
Yeah.
All right, what about the Minnesota Twins?
This was a pretty easy one. Victor Caratini, former Astros catcher, great guy, sorely missed in the clubhouse. One of those guys, like, I'll miss hearing his name announced at Daikin Park.
Yeah.
Same way I'll miss Doobie.
Right.
He was just a steady guy. He was someone, and not to say that like baseball players mail it in. Most baseball players play hard every single game.
Right.
But like, you just watched him every day and he was always giving maximum effort. Super easy guy to root for, and I wish him a ton of luck. Glad he got that contract from Minnesota and created generational wealth for his family. Up next, the New York Mets. My team, Robyn. Choose carefully.
All right. So I'm going to say Francisco Lindor. I think he's an incredible shortstop, incredible player. I know that Steve Cohen said that he was not going to assign any captains.
Yeah, ever.
But I do think Lindor is still like the unofficial captain of the Mets. And I think he's just someone who has time and time again shown that consistent leadership, that great clubhouse presence, regardless of what the New York Post says or doesn't say.
Screw the New York Post.
I mean, I love his wife. She's incredible. So I mean that
helps.
That helps him. That helps him, because when I was choosing, I was like, do I cop out and say Juan Soto or do I say Francisco Lindor? But I think
Yeah.
Katya Lindor
Yeah.
was the deciding factor.
What I love about Francisco Lindor
Mhm.
is, watching him give interviews and
Yeah.
the New York media is relentless.
Mhm.
He's so intentional.
Mhm.
Like what he says, everything he says carries meaning and he
Mhm.
says what he means and he's so careful. He's careful with his words, but not in a way of like being guarded, but
Mhm.
because he knows the weight that his words carry. And
Mhm.
so it, I'm so fortunate that he plays for my
Right.
team. Um, I really, really want them to win a World Series with him because
Mhm.
that would just like cement his legacy in New York forever.
Mhm.
And I do think that if he does win a ring with the
Mhm.
Mets, he is a future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go cross town to the Bronx. What about the New York Yankees?
Yeah. So, Ahmed Rosario for a couple of reasons. He came up at the Mets. He was supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread. Didn't turn out that way. Funny enough, he was involved in the trade for Francisco Lindor,
Mhm.
and so the Mets traded him along with Andres Jimenez to the
Guardian.
Cleveland Guardians. And so I just enjoy him as a
Mhm.
player. I am always going to have a soft spot, kind of rooting for him throughout the Mets minor league
Mhm.
system, and then wanting him to pan out in a way that he quite didn't in the
Mhm.
major leagues. But he is someone who, back to the effort piece, like it requires staying power to be a major league
Mhm.
baseball player who is not a superstar. And Ahmed Rosario is not a superstar, but he's a solid player. One of the sickest defenders. Great, great guy. So really enjoy watching him. I will say honorable mention, Aaron Judge. I can't hate on the man.
Right.
He does everything right. I
Mhm.
mean, maybe outside of posing for a picture with Donald Trump, but he does he does everything right,
Right.
and I just respect the way he carries himself
Right.
as possibly the greatest baseball player ever to play the game.
Right. I mean, I know we love to rag on him. We like to um make fun of him because it's just easy to, but we really do
Yeah,
respect him as
yes.
a baseball player.
Robyn, what about the former Oakland Athletics, current Sacramento Athletics, but don't call them Sacramento, just call them the Athletics, future Las Vegas Athletics?
Oh
What a
goodness.
mouthful.
I know. I honestly don't even know what city they rep right now, but I really like the young squad that they have going.
Yeah.
I mean, Jacob Wilson, Kurtz, Nick. Can't really say the other way around on radio. Um, but also, who else is there? Like Tyler Soderstrom. Just they
Yeah.
have a really good young squad
They
going.
do. Like,
And
they're sneaky.
they're sneaky. And I also love how funny Brett Rooker is on Twitter.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love a good Brett Rooker tweet.
Same.
All right, let's go to your least favorite team, the
Yeah.
Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh, the Phillies. I really enjoy Jesus Luzardo.
Mm,
A great pitcher. I also love the kind of like the goggles.
the
He
goggles look.
kind of does like the goggles. Like, I mean, they're probably glasses, but they just look like goggles
Yeah.
to me. And also one of the few Peruvian baseball players. And so I
Oh,
think that's
did
just
not
really
know
cool.
that.
Yeah, he is a solid guy.
Mhm,
The Phillies fleeced the Marlins for him a couple of years ago. I don't know why the Marlins traded him for as little as they did, but he is a solid Philly. Kind of always gives the New York Mets problems. So I often am rooting against him, but I respect him.
mhm,
Again, the art of pitching. He's a great
mm.
pitcher. The Pittsburgh Pirates, Robyn.
I'm gonna be honest, Skeens just doesn't do it for me. I know he's one of the best, but he doesn't do it for me. So I'm gonna cop out and say a former Astro that I think we all love a lot is Jose Urquidy.
Oh yeah,
Because he
yeah,
was another one of those who had a pretty good couple like solid years with us, but then got derailed by injuries. So
yep.
I'm rooting for him. I want to see him do well, and
Hmm.
I hope he does well with the Pirates.
Yeah,
All right, let's go across the nation to the San Diego Padres.
yeah. I like Mason Miller. Um, long time, not long time. Was an Oakland A.
Mhm.
Then he was just an A, and then he got traded to the San Diego
Mhm.
Padres. And so that was give me some credit, Robyn. That was a little
Hey,
creative here.
I appreciate the wordplay. I appreciate the wordplay.
Thank you. I mean, I crave your validation. You just don't
I
know it.
know. Okay, I will say, to be fair to the people who listen, Tom makes really great jokes. Sometimes I just don't catch them right away until a couple minutes later, and it's too late to react.
Thank you. I needed that. My ego needed that more than you know.
No, like they're great jokes. I don't
Yeah,
sometimes just miss them while they're
fair.
being said
Totally
until my
understandable.
brain finally processes it. It's too late.
Totally understandable. He has been But when I look at Mason Miller, he's been one of the game's best closers and
Mhm.
best relief pitchers. He just hasn't played for great teams, and so nobody really even knows he exists.
Mhm.
So I enjoy watching him play baseball. He is for those of you who are drafting soon in fantasy, he's a sneaky pick.
Mhm.
Highly recommend picking him up. Don't let the stats with the Padres fool you. He didn't rack up a lot of saves. Just look a little bit deeper. He pitched 23 innings for them last year and did a great, great job. Probably single-handedly kept them in the pennant race
Yeah.
to a certain
I will
respect.
say he did have a much like, statistically, he was better with the
Yes.
A's,
Yeah.
but, I
Yeah.
mean, that always happens when you switch to a new team. There's always that
Mhm.
adjustment period.
Absolutely. Well, let's head north up the Pacific Coast Highway, Robin, to San Francisco.
Jung-Hoo Lee,
Yes, yes, yes,
yes. If
yes.
I lived in the Bay, I would definitely be a hooligan.
Mhm.
I would
I believe
definitely
it.
be at the games with the little,
Mhm.
Dragon Ball Z hair.
I love that. I love
No,
that.
I just think he's just so fun. This actual video came out, was it I don't remember if it was yesterday or today, of, um, Giants admin asking players who they're expecting their most played artist to be on
Mhm.
Spotify, and he said, "Take me out to the ball game." Like,
I love that.
how can you hate this
That's
guy?
awesome. That is awesome.
Alright, let's go to a division rival, Seattle Mariners.
I like Josh Naylor a lot. I've always
Yeah.
liked him on the D-backs, has been again, like a solid fantasy guy, but just a consistent baseball player. Also seems like a great human being.
Yeah.
He got a lot of love on social media
Right.
this week with the picture with the dogs on the field,
Yes, yes.
but I mean, talk about a guy that just, like, comes to work, does his job, does it
Yeah.
well, is by all accounts a really good clubhouse presence, so I enjoy watching him play baseball even though he plays for a team I don't quite like.
I will say that he does kinda have, like, those crazy eyes going, and there's just something so hot about a man who might be a little crazy. You did not hear that from me. Alright, let's keep moving.
St. Louis Cardinals, Robin.
Alright, I'm only gonna say this guy because I think his name is really fun, Lars
Mhm.
Nootbaar.
Oh, I
I
love that.
I think that's such a fun name,
Yeah, it is a
Lars
fun name.
Nootbaar.
That is a fun name.
I really can't tell you much about him.
Mhm.
I'm sorry to the Cardinals. They're a team I tend to forget about,
Yeah.
despite the fact that I think we were actually used to historically, the Astros used to have a really big rivalry with the
Mhm.
Cardinals,
Mhm.
but unfortunately, since we moved to or I guess fortunately, since we moved to a different division,
Yeah.
I just don't think about them.
Fair. Fair.
Alright, the Tampa Bay
I
Rays.
like Andy Diaz. Good corner
Mhm,
outfielder, has been in the league for quite a while, started with Cleveland, spent most of the rest of his career in Tampa Bay. Just a solid
mhm,
guy, solid with the glove, solid with the bat,
mhm.
gets on base. I enjoy watching him play baseball, and also there's just not a lot of sorry, Courtney, there's just not a lot of options on your team. I really don't know many of them because as soon as they're good, they trade them. And so I'm surprised Yandy Diaz is still there. But I enjoy watching him play the game. What about the Texas
Am
Rangers?
I allowed to cop out and go with a historic player?
Sure,
Alright,
yes.
so historically, I'm gonna say Shin-Soo Choo.
Mhm.
I guess current signing Mark Canha is
Oh,
I
yes.
do like him.
I love Mark Hanna from his time on the Mets.
I just it's I will say nothing against the Rangers or Rangers fans, but it's just kind of hard for root for a team that doesn't really have like maternity leave
Or the only
or
team in baseball that
or team
doesn't.
baseball who doesn't have like a pride night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's get it together.
Yeah.
All right,
Agreed.
this the team's also dear to my heart. Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah. And I could probably choose about 10 guys on this team.
Right.
Trey Savage, we just
Mm,
watched him beast out in
yes.
2025.
Yes.
Talk about a guy who loves the big moment and
Mhm.
craves the spotlight, but not in a problematic way. Like
Yes.
craves the spotlight in a way that is just like fuels him and
Yes.
he's a demon. And I love watching this guy play baseball. But I know you've got
I know. I
some
mean,
chances around him.
I can list the whole roster.
Yes.
I mean, George Springer,
Yep.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Ernie Clement. I can keep going, but we don't have time to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Robin. Last but not least, the Walgreens team, the Washington Nationals.
I'm gonna say James Wood.
Yeah.
Another one of
Yeah.
the young guys who's like
Mhm.
getting his foot in and like
Yeah.
just beasting out.
Agreed. Good player.
Good player. Yeah.
Well, that was our non-exhaustive but exhaustive list of our favorite players in the game right now. It is that time of the week, Robin, where we get into
the wild pitches. Tom, do you want to kick us off?
Sure. Robyn, I have been counting, or I was counting down to spring training
Mm-hmm.
all winter long. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait for pitchers and catchers to
Mm-hmm.
report and then position players. I am so bored. I'm bored to tears. I think spring training is the most boring thing about baseball, perhaps worse than the off season, because at least in the off season you have intrigue and drama and storylines. I can only watch my favorite player take ground balls only so many times. Like, it is not thrilling to watch them just field ground balls 300 times in an hour.
Right.
Today, Mets Twitter was, all excited. The first game was back on SNY. Our
Mhm.
favorite announcers were there. Let's go. Let's tune in. My God, like, I was there to really listen to the announcers,
Right.
almost as if they were a podcast, because
Right.
they're just so entertaining. The game was boring. The camera angles were pissing me off. It was just like it was a snooze fest. And I'm just kind of over spring training. Every year I say it should be shorter.
Right.
It doesn't need to be, the 5 to 6 weeks that it is. And a lot of players even get there before the reporting date. But I get there is
Mm-hmm.
sort of a recipe to building a
Mhm.
baseball team every year.
Right.
It's very, unless you're the New York Yankees, you very rarely run back the same team.
Right.
Sorry, I had to get that dig in. It was just,
It's
what
too
do they
good.
say? The low-hanging fruit of it all. But I'm over it. Like, I want
Yeah.
March 26th to be here for us to play games that count.
Mhm.
I don't care that, minor leaguers are playing in the game in the Grapefruit League. It's just not exciting to me. But I will say, on the flip side, I once visited Met spring training.
Mhm.
So much fun, because you get access to the players in a way that you don't during the regular season. So I will say, to contrast the in-person experience with the not in person, the
Right.
viewing experience, I'm just, let's go. Let's fast forward through
Right.
let's not fast forward WBC. It's going to be a lot of fun, but let's just get this over with.
Right. I will say, those who are living in Arizona or Florida during this time, this is like the perfect opportunity
You are
to
blessed.
stop by
Blessed.
one of the training facilities.
And good for them, because
for
honestly,
them.
Robyn, I wouldn't want to live in either of those states.
Oh, absolutely not.
So I'm glad that they get
At
something.
least y'all get something during the year.
Yes. Robyn, what is your wild pitch of the week?
I don't really know if this is that wild, because we did already discuss this earlier.
Yeah.
But unless you're in the American League West or are the Dodgers or Yankees, find another team to hate on. The banging on the trash cans gift is getting old. I'm wearing this hat especially because we got a lot of those banging on trash can gifts in our TikTok page the last time I wore it.
Yeah.
But like find a new joke. Like, literally find a new joke. This is that low hanging fruit that's not even funny anymore, because guess what? The Astros will post a trash can, a picture of their own star, their own logo on trash cans during
Yes.
Fan Fest days. So
Yeah.
you can find these pictures easy. Find another GIF. Find another team to hate on, because I'm sure there are plenty others, because this beef with the Astros over something from almost a decade ago, it is getting old. But I mean, if you want us to keep living in your heads rent free, that's also fine by me.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I love living in people's heads rent free. So if that's what gives you something to do with some meaning in your life, by all means.
If you keep wearing that hat, though, Robyn, you're going to continue to live in their heads rent free.
I mean, I'm cute.
Yes, you are, Robyn. Yes, you are. Oh, boy.
I think that's really it for the week.
Yeah, that is it. Thank you for joining us, as always, on this episode and every episode of Wild Pitch.
Wild pitch. A bad pitch energy. We'll catch y'all next time. Bye.
Goodbye.